Welcome back to the DDSN MLB Diamond Betting Show, episode number 11. We finally broke our losing streak. It wasn't a terrible losing streak, but nonetheless, it was an annoying one. Unless you've just been playing the sides and the sides, they keep cashing like crazy. But these damn totals I'm trying to conquer these totals and we keep getting runners left on base, errors, disaster. And the Phillies. Phillies can't hit. Of course, anytime we bet against the Phillies to score 10 runs, bet on the Phillies or need the total over, they can't score. Can't score. Frustrating. But winning day, I'll take it. I did record yesterday's episode at midnight, doing the same thing tonight because we have a really small slate tomorrow. I believe half the games are early and then the second half, either 3 or 4, are in the late evening. They have to be later games. Going off of memory, I don't have the times written down, but it was a good day. We started off red hot. I believe like 5-0 we started, and then everything just tanked after the Dodgers blew the lead. Then we had blown leads everywhere, and it just wasn't pretty. But at the end of the day, green is good. We're back. We're green. We're all good. Especially, like I said, the sides. We're up 6 units on our side so far, 51 and 44. A lot of games already, but we got to stay locked in. Every single day, we're locked in and recording and posting and talking about it. And since it's going to be a short episode, I'll go over our futures because I did last week, but we'll do a quick update and I'll bring those up right now. That way I could just scroll through them really quick once we get there. But before then, let's jump into Thursday's games. And there's only a couple of them, and one, the Rockies, I'm not too sure who's going to pitch for the Rockies yet. Doesn't matter. I'm going to pass on that game because I really don't have any information. So let's get into Thursday's games. I'm trying not to say today and blah, blah, blah. But it's 12:42 a.m. Central Time, and this is early post before, we're just early. Anyways, all right, first game, Cincinnati Reds plus 116, Red Lauder on the mound against the Miami Marlins. Marlins are minus 128, Max Meyer on the mound. Reds took the L, which I was confused because I either bet the Reds last night, late last night, or early this morning. I really don't remember. And yeah, the Reds lost. But they weren't an official play. I know I didn't have it written down, and I'm pretty sure I didn't talk about it yesterday because Brady Singer, he is absolute dog shit. I don't know how he shut out the Rangers last Friday, but he was terrible against the Marlins. Multiple errors, couldn't throw the ball to first base, second base, and then he just left everything over the plate. The Reds were still in that game. They could have made a push to get a victory, but Brady Singer, just an awful performance from him. But we're going to have Rhett Lauder on the mound. He's been locked down to start this season. We're getting plus money with him, and it's last game of the series, I believe. I don't think it's a 4-game series, but last game of the series. And Marlins had a pretty impressive offensive night last night, I guess I'll say. But I like the Reds here. We're getting plus money. Rhett Lauder again, so give it to me all day. Next game, the Sacramento Las Vegas Athletics plus 180. Jeffrey Springs on the mound against the New York Yankees minus 200. Ryan Weathers on the mound. We did have the Yankees on the run line. And again, David Bednar is just a fucking thorn in my side. This dude cannot close out a game to save his life. I think it was the bullpen that also blew the 2-run lead. And then of course the Yankees, they can't bring in any runs, bases loaded, Bellinger strikes out. Just awful stuff for the Yankees, which, I'm not going to complain about it because I hate the Yankees, but if we bet on them, I still want them to win. But we're going to be fading them. We're going to be fading the Yankees. I like the Athletics in this game, plus 180. Reason being, Jeffrey Springs, lefty, he's done great against the Yankees. If my memory serves me correct, he hasn't faced them since 2022. Against everyone else, he's been pretty strong. Lefty, Jeffrey Springs. Also, I believe he was hurt for like a year. So that has a lot to do with it. But at this price, plus 180, and these Athletics, they've been hitting well against the Yankees pitchers. They're definitely not afraid of them. And I like Oakland here. The price is right. It's way too expensive with the Yankees. And do we really like we escaped game one with the Yankees on the run line? Got lucky. I mean, call it what it is. We were extremely fortunate. Ahmed Rosario 3-run home run to cover the run line, I believe the 8th inning. And then this past last night, whatever, we'll call it last night. Last night, the Yankees blow another lead. And, I think this is kind of a sneaky pick to just back the A's here at plus 180. I like the price. And Jeffrey Springs. Next game, the Detroit Tigers minus 128. Jack Flaherty on the mound against the Minnesota Twins. Twins plus 116. Mick Abel on the mound. Like I said last night, if we were in a good position, I feel like we should have took the Twins. Twins dominated. Wasn't an official play, but if you blindly bet me, you probably be definitely way better record than what our official record is. Honestly, that's just facts. Go back and watch all the episodes. But yeah, I like the Twins here. Again, Jack Flaherty has had back-to-back bad starts. So it really wouldn't surprise me if third time's a charm for Flaherty, but he's been getting roughed up after, the first, second inning, third, fourth, fifth inning. He's been struggling. And I know that because we had him last week against the Cardinals, and he was locked down for 2 innings and then got blasted. So this Twins offense, I kind of talked about. All of a sudden, the Twins are second place in division. Guardians are still first place. But the Twins all of a sudden are in second place. The no-name Minnesota Twins are hitting the ball. Pitchers are waking up, and they're playing in the cold, so that could help them at home. But Twins aren't, they're not terrible. And they're hitting the baseball. That's more than I can say about the Tigers. The Tigers' offense can't push any runs across. And their pitchers, Skubal, Mize, Framber, all of them got blown up this week. I just don't, this Twins team maybe, for real. Give me the Twins, plus 116. We might be late to the party. Like I said, Jack Flaherty may have a great third game or third start this season. Third time's a charm. But at the same time, even if it is like, if this is a 2-1, 3-2, 3-1 game in the 6th inning, whose offense do you want? I want the Twins offense right now. I do not want to be trusting this Tigers offense or their bullpen. Tigers bullpen has also been trash. Give me the Minnesota Twins here. Regarding our Indians and Guardians future, we want the Tigers to suck for the rest of the season. And we're just going to keep betting on the Guardians. Bing, 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 bing. Give me the Twins, plus 116. Make a bell. Next game, the Arizona Diamondbacks, plus 140 with Eduardo Rodriguez on the mound against the New York Metropolitans. The Mets, minus 155. Noah McLean on the mound. Give me the Mets. Eduardo Rodriguez has been terrible against this New York Mets team. And the Mets offense is clicking. Wait, they didn't click last night whenever we had them. Yeah, they were complete dog shit. They couldn't score a run. Drew Peterson. What was I thinking? And then, of course, the Diamondbacks offense goes crazy. Where was that the other day when we had to? Every time we have the Diamondbacks, they can't score any runs. But we bet against the Diamondbacks, and all of a sudden, they're like the 0-1 D-backs. They just score 10 runs a game. Frustrating. But Noah McLean on the mound. I kind of flirted with the run line here, but, it's within our price range. So I'm just going to do Mets minus 155. Noah McLean getting the bounce back at home. Give me the Metropolitans. Next game, the Chicago White Sox plus 160. Anthony Kay on the mound against the Kansas City Royals. Royals are minus 177 with Seth Lugo. I think the Royals are due for one tough series against the Guardians. They got roughed up in the last 2 games after a low-scoring game 1. And Seth Lugo was really great in his last start. I didn't think he was going to be. I believe we faded Lugo in his last start and we lost. And I believe the price is just right here. Anthony Kay cannot be trusted. White Sox, their offense shows up sometimes it doesn't. Orioles had a really great series against them. But I like the Royals on the run line. A lot of this has to do with this offense getting back on track. A little get-right spot here after getting creamed by the Indians 2 games in a row. Seth Lugo on the mound. I think it's a good little concoction brewing here. A little cocktail, if you will. And give me the KC Royals minus 1.5 plus 112. And then the last game of the night, Colorado Rockies plus 168. I believe Chase Dollinger is going to be on the mound. That's the probable, but I don't know how official that is. I can't remember which game it was. They didn't have a pitcher listed. I believe that was like the Orioles game a couple of days ago, and it was the wrong pitcher. So even if it is Dollinger or somebody else, they're going up against the Padres minus 186. Randy Vasquez on the mound. Padres are going to be a huge favorite, and I like the Padres. Padres offense is clicking. They haven't been, that Giants series kind of put a stain on them, little black eye. But since then, they've really bounced back. They lost to Paul Skeens, not a big deal. But now this is a good test. Rockies just swept the Astros. This is a good test for them on the road. I believe the total is 8 in this game. So, Rockies offense, are they going to show up or are they not going to show up? Usually against pretty great pitching, Rockies don't score more than 3 runs, but we don't, this Padres offense has been hot, and we don't know who's going to pitch for the Rockies, so there's no point in betting a total in this game if we don't know who the pitcher's going to be. So it's a total pass for me. Yeah, this is one you can get creative with, have fun with. But like I said, this looks like a win for the Padres. But, you could always go with the Rockies, hot hand, coming off a sweep. Let the guy go back on the road. So let's run it down. Cincinnati Reds plus 116. Athletics plus 180. We got the Minnesota Twins plus 116. The New York Mets minus 155. Kansas City Royals on the run line plus 112. I like those plays. It's a small card. So let's get into and let's update our futures. It's been about a week since we've talked about them, and I've just been adding on a little bit at a time, but there's one that I really want to talk about. So, of course, I talked about it. Cleveland Indians. The Indians, we've got a great price on them. They were from plus 5 something, plus 4 something. Now they're plus 330, which I still like. Anything plus money we're getting with the Indians, I feel really confident about them winning this division. Minnesota Twins are hot right now, so that's not a gimme. The White Sox, they're decent. They're winning games. They're not laying down. The Detroit Tigers are basically the only team in the division that's laying down. So let's hope that continues to happen. So I'm still confident with the Guardians winning the Central Division. And also, that's the other thing I want to talk about. We do have a mini bet on Travis Baezano to win Rookie of the Year, AL Rookie of the Year. That's like 92, 93 to 1. You can still find that available. I'm assuming it's the same price. Last time I checked, it was the same price. And, yeah, it's no, there's no way. 4 to 1? It's 4 to 1 to win. Nah, there's no way. I think, okay, never mind. I think this is just like call sheet. I think that's like asleep right now. I think they're doing maintenance. There's no way Travis Baezano is 4 to 1 right now. We have him at 92, 93 to 1. There's no way. I think it's got to be a maintenance thing because the Indians brought up Brito, and today was the first day they moved him to second base and let Rocchio play shortstop. And of course, both of them had amazing games. So it may be a while till we see Baezano, especially because one, it's still cold out, and they don't really have to bring him up for like a month regarding like service time and that sort of thing. So we may not see him, especially if Brito keeps hitting the ball. They're just going to let that ride. Again, Gabi Arias, he's going to be out 3 to 4 weeks, I saw. Hamstring, so that could linger. Like we talked about Juan Soto, that could linger. So who knows? We'll see what happens. Brito stays hot. Maybe he gets cold. Rocchio, but Rocchio plays multiple positions, and he's got a good glove, veteran presence. So I don't think they're gonna drop Rocchio for Baezano. It's gonna be dependent on how Brito does, and so far so good. And the Rookie of the Year that we have for the National League, excuse me. So those are the other futures for National League. We've got Sal Stewart. I mean, I just keep betting him every single day, basically every single day. Now that the Connor Griffin hype is over with, he's now like plus like 100 something to win NL Rookie of the Year. Once Connor Griffin came up and all the hype was around him, Sal went back to like 4 to 1, 3 to 1, and he kept hitting, just destroying, is playing great right now. And then Connor Griffin, he can't hit the ball. So those odds kind of, flipped. And we'll see what happens. But yeah, as long as he's plus money, I'm gonna keep putting a little bit of money on Sal Stewart. He's been a beast. And I also have, Zach Veen, Colorado Rockies, like 92-1. And Charlie Condon 30-1, which was crazy. I thought he would be like 90-1. But it looks like he's back to 22-1. I don't know. I don't like that. 22-1. He has, but the Rockies stay hot. I can see them bringing up these guys. Will they pass Sal Stewart? I mean, this dude's been doing it from day one. So you never know. 162 games, injuries happen. God forbid. We'll see what happens. But that's what we have right now. And then the American League. I've got the Astros, and I do have the Rangers, but I have more I have more Astros shares than the Rangers, but now all the Astros pitchers are injured. So, and they just got swept by the Rockies. So, I mean, we're not in a good position right now with the Astros. Yes, they still have a great offense, but the pitching, as you can see in the Colorado series, it's an issue. But also they couldn't score in 2 games against Colorado either. So that's not good. And I have Yordan Alvarez MVP, tickets. They average out. So we got him at like 12-1, got all the way down to 6, and he's pretty much 6-1 plus 684. So 7-1, whatever you want to call it. But, we can get a nice little cash out if he hits. And, offensively, he can still win MVP if his insane numbers keep up. And Judge, Bobby Witt Jr. really hasn't done too much, but it's early in the season. And that's pretty much all of our futures, except I do have the Marlins to win the NL East. We got them at 22-1. They went all the way down to 10-1 before the Red Series. And now they're all the way back to 22-1. I think they're still live, and they're still worth a play at 22-1. The Braves are kind of hit and miss right now. The Phillies hit and miss. The Nationals are a lot of miss. And who am I missing? The Mets. The Mets are actually playing pretty well right now, considering, them being the Mets. Oh, Mets can choke it at any time. We know that. Marlins at 22-1. That's worth a flyer. That's not a bad little bet to have, little bet slip to have in your pocket. I like it, but that's everything that I have right now. Don't really need or want to add anything else. If I do, it's really just going to be between just adding on to what we have. And obviously, if something else comes up, we'll talk about it. But the one thing I will be doing is probably getting a little bit more of the Texas Rangers shares, especially if the Astros continue to slide and their pitching continues to suck. So we'll just have to wait and see. And I'll keep y'all updated on that. But that's everything for today. Episode 11 in the books. Thank you for all the new subscribers, followers on TikTok and YouTube. Apologize for having to post this early. Early in the morning. I did check the betting odds. And other than the Orioles game, there really wasn't a big change in pricing. So that's pretty good. I'm kind of happy to see that there wasn't more than a 10 cent. And I'm being generous. There really wasn't a 10-cent difference. Like I said, the only big one maybe would have been the Orioles from -152 to -160, but that's like I don't think it got that bad, but that was the only one that really moved. So this is good. And, it's going to be posted on YouTube and TikTok, the full videos. So look out for that. Again, thank you to everyone and good luck to us. And we'll see y'all for Friday's game. We got a full day Friday. One early game Friday, which I'll figure out what I do with that one. Maybe just do a short like this at night and have it posted at like 8 a.m. And then in the afternoon, evening, whenever I can, do it for Friday. And we've got a full slate on Friday. So let's get a winning streak. Let's get another green day going. We're back in the green and our matchups were looking good. So let's just do that. I'm sorry, a little delirious. It's late. A lot of baseball today, but it's what we do. All right, we'll see y'all tomorrow.